The Vancouver Canucks have hired Utica Comets coach Travis Green. Now, this is not surprising, and frankly, it's sparked a new light for Canucks fans. Travis Green is a guy who, like Trevor Linden said, has played almost 1,000 NHL games and has had, I believe, .47 points per game as a defenseman. And that means, he's played a lot. He's a guy who has NHL experience as a player. He last played for the Leafs in 2006-2007, and he played in Switzerland the year after that, but he stopped after. Following this is when he started to coach teams. He coached a successful Portland Winterhawks team, and then he coached himself 4 Utica Comets teams, one of which made the Calder Cup Finals. That was a very entertaining series to watch. I still despise the Ontario Reign for that, but it was a great series to be a part of. He's a guy that has experience in the NHL as a player and as a coach, but like Willie Desjardins, the previous guy, he doesn't have NHL coaching experience, and that is a big if, but it's something that we're going to have to work around. The guy has been around hockey for the majority of his life, and he's 14 years younger than Desjardins. It's a new age for strategy and tactics for this team coming up. And an interesting point to note is that because he's the Utica guy, he's the Utica coach from before, the past 4 seasons, he's already used to being put in that role to develop young players. He's developed guys like Berchi, and he's been supported by Markstrom and Bachman. Unlike Desjardins, who has been coaching teams like, the Texas Stars, which is the Dallas Stars affiliate, Travis Green has had a direct impact on the players that are playing on this team now. And it was like that for years. He worked with guys like Berchi and Markstrom for seasons before they cracked the NHL roster. He's been put up in a position to help out our younger guys in the farm team, such as the guys that are there right now like Virtanen and Volk and Grenier, some of which, I don't really know if they're actually going to make the NHL, but the only one with a really debatable chance, in my opinion, is Virtanen, but that's off topic. The hiring of Travis Green is an interesting one at this point, because it's another big step in the Canucks rebuild. That's not saying that Green will make the team finish last. It's not like we're tanking for whoever's going to go first overall, Svechnikov, Denisenko, Dahlin. It's saying that Green will be placed in a position where he'll be able to develop the young guys even more and continue to grow the players that he started out back in Utica. The Utica crew is actually coming back here. We got Rolly Melanson, Jacob Markstrom, Sven Berchi, Travis Green, and maybe even a Brendan Gaunce. At this point, all we can do is rejoice because our younger players will get a step up. But, even though this is the case, there are still many uncertainties. For example, who will the Sedins play with? A Besser maybe? A Megna? Maybe we'll get somebody else that we've never seen before up on there? Where will the Canucks finish in the standings? Well, I'm sure the only way to tell that is to play the video game and simulate a season, right? Because that's totally accurate. And what's going to happen to guys like Megna and Chaput? Will these guys get the same minutes that they did with Desjardins? I certainly hope not. But, whatever happens, happens, and I trust that Travis Green will be a guy who enforces his own beliefs on this team, and he plays the players who he thinks deserve playing time, and he makes the combination that he thinks will work. There are many decisions that will be decided further down the line as the Canucks play, as they call up more players, as they get injuries more, because really we were plattered with injuries recently, and that's really not been a good thing. But at the moment, all we can do is just, sit back and rejoice that we have a coach who knows what it takes to be a good player on a good team, and who knows what it takes to coach a team. He's a guy that knows how to develop young players. He's a guy that knows how to make players work. He's a guy who knows how to take young players and say, hey, this is what you gotta do to be successful. And he's a guy whose systems and strategies have worked before in developing players, and he's a guy who's coached a lot of the guys who are playing for him right now. It'll be an interesting change of coaching style. He's, the fourth coach we've had in the past 7 years, so this is gonna be really interesting to see. It's kind of shaky for Canucks fans because it's finally a step in the right direction towards a rebuild, but it's something that we've been due for quite a bit now. And the guys like the Sedins, the guys like Edler, Tanev, these guys are just relics of the past coaches that we've had. These guys are guys who will carry on the legacy of coaches from the past, and guys like Willie Desjardins, guys who made the Canucks suffer. Not even gonna hide it. Willie Desjardins made the Canucks suffer. These statistics and these seasons will be placed in the rearview mirror. We'll come away with some draft players, and we're gonna be taking a step forward. Willie Desjardins was a good coach for one season, but it's time to take that next step. And Travis Green is that next step. Hope you guys enjoyed this video processing the lecture, gaming, and bye.